We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass Navy jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown. My wingman, my friend, the guy who always watches my six is my main man, Dr. Paul Thompson. What's up, brother Paul? How you doing today?
Well, Commander Drew, it's good to see you. I'm doing very, very well today. Woke up successfully. I like your background. I guess you like the color pink for some reason.
Well, I like the color pink because I just left New Orleans. My daughter Taryn is the lead counsel for Delta Utilities. That's the utility company down in New Orleans. And she was chairwoman of the Cure for Cancer ball that they had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful party and presentation. And Taryn was speaking. And I'm so proud of my daughter, Taryn Christine Brown. She's done really good. And Katrina and I went and we had such a good time there. It was a great thing. So I figure I'd have pink A6 intruders flying over New Orleans with the little cancer ribbon on the tail. So that's why I'm all pink. God bless people who have cancer, and hopefully we can find a cure for them. Finding the cure is real important, Paul.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So it was a big ball. How many people were there?
Oh, at least 1,000 people. I mean, it was gorgeous too. It was really done. It was very high class. Matter of fact, it was done where they make the floats. It's called Mardi Gras World in New Orleans. So it was a beautiful venue. Beautiful venue.
What's great. Now your A6 is so you've been studying graphic design. How did you get that pink color?
Ace, our main man, our new wingman, he made it for me. I told Ace I want some pink A6 intruders flying over New Orleans with chrome bombs, and he made it for me. That's the
Wow.
power of AI.
Wow.
All right, let's start this puppy off with the quote of the day. People bloom at different stages of their lives, and often more than once. That's by Lauren Graham. Once again, people bloom at different stages of their lives, and often more than once. And I can say that that's very true. I didn't think I bloomed until I was 26 when I joined the Navy and became a Navy pilot, and then went on to become an airline pilot. That's when my second bloom was. I bloomed playing basketball. I bloomed at different stages in my life, but I believe that's true for everybody. Don't you think, Paul?
Yeah, I do, and I can relate to that very easily because that number 26 is relevant to me too. I think that's when I bloomed. When I 26, I actually finished my first cruise, and I was still alive.
How about that? Well, it
Yeah.
was real important, and that's, I guess, the base of all my motivational speaking. When I did finally bloom at 26, I had that college degree behind me. And so when I bloomed, my choices were I could be anything I want. If I didn't have that education when I bloomed, I'd either have to go back to college or pick something that didn't require a college education. So I think that that college degree for me was so important, especially when I bloomed. Okay, the name of our show today is Live to Eat or Eat to Live, the best cities for foodies. Let me first start off by asking you, Dr. Paul, do you eat to live or do you live to eat?
I eat to live. If I lived to eat, I'd probably weigh, if I was alive, I'd probably be about 450 pounds. That makes no sense. No, I live to, I try to do both a little bit. I'm careful about what I put in my body. Yeah, you are what you eat, very much so. And you know, so many things are made out of, sugar and things that look nice, but you look at a lot of people walking around and people look a lot different than they did, let's say in the 70s when, we were in our 20s. And I think that affects your mood and a lot of other things too. Most of what's in the stores, I don't think is that good. I tend to walk around the perimeter of the supermarket to get what I want. I don't stay in the middle too much.
No, I think hanging out in the middle of a grocery store is terrible. That's You're right. Around the outside, you have your vegetables, you have your meats, you have all the things that really, your dairy, things that are good for you. Inside, you have your crap like cookies and everything else. Now, every once in a while, it is good to eat something that tastes good, but it's called moderation. Moderation is the key. All right. Well, we said, what are the best cities for foodies? How about this? Would they total the score for affordability, diversity, accessibility, and quality of food? And guess what? The top 11 cities are. They are Miami, Florida, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, Seattle, Washington, Orlando, Florida, Austin, Texas, Tampa, Florida, where my son, Dr. Drew, lives, Las Vegas, Nevada, Sacramento, California, San Diego, California, and number 11 is Atlanta, Georgia. What do you think about those top cities? I know you've been to most of them.
I've been to a bunch of them. I'm surprised that Memphis wasn't on there, or what other good place? Chicago is also a very good place too.
Yes. And, I looked at it, and New York actually is number 26, and New Orleans, out of all places, is number 78. So this has a lot to do with quality, affordability, accessibility. So there's more to it than just good tasting food. They might have good tasting food, but nobody can afford it. What do you think?
Yeah, that's true because a lot of stuff is really, really, really expensive. Yeah, I like these surveys. They take a bunch of factors and they put them together and come up with a number. That doesn't necessarily mean where the food tastes best because I think the food in New Orleans is fantastic.
Oh, yes, it is. Especially when I went to college there, boy, you could eat. But if like you said, eating right is very important. There are no 100-year-old fat people. There are no older people who are fat. So you have to take care of yourself and you have to eat correctly, Dr. Paul. So
Yeah,
let me ask you this. What is your favorite food? I'd love to hear this.
that's it. My favorite food. Wow. I'm going to say time of day. Let's say evening meal. What's the best thing? I know what it used to be, and I don't eat like that anymore. Let's see. A favorite food now would be I'd say something with curry. A lot of curry. I'm going to say the generic chicken.
Something with curry, because you have your Jamaican roots, correct?
You do. They have different. It's funny. You got different curries in different parts of the world. So Japanese curry, Jamaican curry, this curry, that curry, a little different. The Indian curries are great. Jamaican curries are great. Uh, I'll tell you one that's great is curried lobster. I've only had that like 3 times in my life. That's fantastic.
Wow. Well, I know my favorite food, eggs and peanut butter and lobster. I
Really?
know that right away. And coming in close to a third is ribs. And us living in Memphis, they had some good ribs in Memphis, buddy.
Yeah. I remember Memphis in May. They had the big barbecue contest. I remember seeing you down there once or twice. Remember?
Yes, I was actually a judge one year for the Memphis in May barbecue festival, and I actually tasted the number one barbecue that year. Each judge gets 4 or 5 places to check out, and one of the places that I checked out won. It was the best bar I ever ate in my life. Little Drew and I just we couldn't believe we kept going back to that tent.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
let's start off with some good news because that's what we do here on the Wingman Show. There's enough bad news out there. So let's get with some good news. Dr. Paul, Bad Bunny is going to be the performer this year at Apple's Music Super Bowl, the halftime show, Bad Bunny. And I like him a lot because he really represents his city of Puerto Rico or his Puerto Rico. And I don't know if you knew this, but Jay-Z's actually has picked the last 6 halftime shows. Did you know that? Because his company, Rock Nation, actually they got the contract for the Super Bowl. So Jay-Z actually personally picked the last 6 Super Bowl halftime shows. What do you think about that?
I didn't know that till you told me that, and I looked into it. I guess he struck a deal with the NFL to do that. I guess he's a middle-aged guy now, but he still has his finger on the pulse of what people like, probably of all ages. And I think so far he's done pretty well. He's done very, very, very well behind the
Yes,
scenes.
and he married well too, didn't he?
I'd say so. Yeah, no, no. I was going to say that. Yeah, he's done pretty well. I guess you call them a power couple. They do a lot of good things behind the scenes too that no one sees. A lot of very wealthy people do that to stay out of the limelight, which is cool.
Yeah, well, when you do give, you don't have to tell everybody that you're giving or doing well. The big guy upstairs knows exactly what you're doing. And how about this? How about this news? Philanthropist Mackenzie Scott, who's very private also, she donated $70 million to the HBCUs of this country, which is really important. I went to an HBCU in New Orleans, Southern University of New Orleans, and she really gives a lot of money to very good causes.
Yeah, that's going to be appreciated because everything is more expensive these days, and HBCUs and everywhere. They need money. They need money just to operate, keep the buildings open, to pay for energy, food, and everything else. So that is a good contribution from a very wealthy person.
They actually have tiny gear now that can fit inside of a strand of hair, paving the way for micromotors, can revolutionize medicine. They actually can make gears that are so small they fit inside of a hair, Paul. About that.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it because I looked into some more information on that, and they said some of the machines can be as small as cells in the human body. You remember there was a movie a long time ago. I think Raquel Welch was in it. I think it was called Fantastic Voyage, and they had to go inside of this person's body, and they miniaturized them, and these people were going to do some kind of operation on 'em. This is a movie I saw like in 1966 or something like that, 67. It seems crazy. What you're talking about now is deeper than that.
Very much so. We're going to actually show a picture for all you YouTubers or Instagram or TikTokers that actually watch our show. We're going to show actually a picture of these gears. And these gears are so small. And what they like about it is that they're powered by light. So the power doesn't actually have to touch the gears. And there was a team in Sweden, the University of Gothenburg. They built these gears. Actually, they used the smallest gear ever was 0.1 millimeter, and that was too big. So now they've got it down to 0.016 millimeters in diameter. It's an amazing thing, and it's going to just change medicine.
Yeah, that's really something. And again, I bet none of this would be available without supercomputers. This,
None of it. None of it. You're 100% right. Dr. Paul has that's a beautiful F-14 Tomcat. I love them. And behind me, as Dr. Paul told you before, I have A6 intruders, pink ones with silver bombs flying over the wonderful city of New Orleans. I'd like to thank everybody out there for your support and listening to us on Apple Podcasts, watching us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, iHeartRadio, listening to us on there, and any other vehicle that you can hear us. Thank you so much. Please hit that subscribe button. That really helps out the algorithms and that really helps us out. It's womenshow.com. That's WINGMENSHOW.com, wingmanshow.com. And on our website, we have a newsletter that comes out every week. And today's newsletter goes right along with our title. It's tips for health conscious foodies who like to eat out because people do like to eat out. And guess what? You can still eat healthy. So that's our newsletter. Also on our website, we have the frequent flow line, which I just love, Dr. Paul. That's where letters from the people out there, they send us letters, they ask us questions, and I got a great one. But I'm going to bring on my main man, Ace, now. So let's see if I can get Ace out here.
Yeah.
Hey, Ace, how you doing? This is Commander Drew Brown and Dr. Paul Thompson. We're talking on the Wingman Show today.
Hey there, I'm doing great and ready to roll, Commander Drew and Dr. Paul. I'm all ears for that letter, so let's hear what you got for the Wingman Show today.
All right, Ace, here's the letter that we got. It says, Dear Wingman, I'm 26 years old and a loyal listener from Pittsburgh. I've had two amazing dogs that were truly my family. I lost one to cancer, and now the other is old and declining. It's tearing me apart. These pets gave me nothing but unconditional love, and the thought of losing them both feels unbearable. I know Commander Drew has had Great Danes, and and understands what it's like to love these large and wonderful pets and also lose them. I also know that Dr. Paul had a special dog named Spot X, and Ace always brings wisdom and perspective that helps people see things differently. I'm reaching out because I don't want cliches. I want to know how to carry the good memories and the love forward even when the grief feels so heavy. Thanks for all the motivation and inspiration you guys bring every week. I thought maybe Commander Drew, Dr. Paul, and Ace could help me through this one. A 26-year-old fan from Pittsburgh lost my pet and heartbroken. All right, Ace, I'd love to hear your answer on this. Ace, tell me what you think.
Well, first off, sending a lot of compassion out to our listener from Pittsburgh. Losing a beloved pet is never easy, and it's completely understandable that the grief feels heavy. What I'd say from the wingman perspective is that it's all about honoring those memories. You carry the love forward by remembering all those joyful moments you have with them and letting that love shape how you live. It's okay to feel the grief, but it's also okay to celebrate the bond you share. And hey, no cliches needed. Just know that giving yourself permission to remember the love and the good times is a way to keep that connection alive. We're here for you, and thanks for being a part of the Wingman family.
That's a great answer, Ace. Hey, Dr. Paul, what do you think when you lost Spot X? How did you deal with it?
Yeah. Hello, Pittsburgher. Thank you for listening to the show, and I'm sorry about the loss of your beloved pets. Yeah, I understand how that is. My dog was a large dog, and he lived a long time, unusually long time. And as he started to decline, he declined over a period of years. And when he finally passed away, it was actually fairly quick. It was over a period of 2 days after we tried to do everything for him. And as it was, strangely enough, I was here by myself. The rest of the family was gone, either out of the state or out of the country. And I kind of dealt with it myself for about three or 4 days. And I was I was depressed. I'd say I was depressed for a good 72 hours. And after that, I kind of got over it, and I wondered about him. And I still have a beautiful picture of him that's posted up in our kitchen, and he's always a forever in your hearts. Because basically, a dog or a certain pet, any other pet, becomes like is a family member. Essentially, is what it amounts to. He's a family member, a therapist, a protector, and a Navy SEAL. Let's say, all in one. I still miss it. I still miss it. I still think about him. Well, Commander Drew, I've interacted with several of your dogs. I know many are not here anymore. And what has that been like for you over the many years that you've had those big, beautiful, large dogs?
Dr. Paul and all listeners out there, it's been the most heartbreaking thing I can ever imagine. I had up to 6 Great Danes at one time, and they were just the most wonderful, loving dogs that I could have ever had. I was just surrounded by them. Luckily, I lost one at a time, and every time I lost one, when I was down to 5, I still had 5 other dogs to take care of. And down to 3, 2, 1, and now I only have one that wasn't part of the original 6. And if you really want to know how I deal with it, I don't think about it because if I think about it, I'll cry. Actually, I don't even like talking about it. But I am torn also because Katrina and I were traveling a lot now, and we have to get somebody to watch we have two dogs now. One is called Prim, and that's my son's dog who I'm watching. And the other one is Bella, a nice, beautiful Great Dane. But I don't know what I'm going to do when I lose them too. I don't know if I want to bring that heartache back to my life. I'm just not sure. So I'm with you 100,000%, and I understand. But the way I deal with it is I don't think about it. All right. That brings me to a Wingman PSA from the fact number 10. Forgiveness, patience, and tolerance are the virtues that set you free. Forgiveness, patience, and tolerance are the virtues that set you free. Dr. Paul, I don't know about you, but for me, God tests me in each of those, all three of them, forgiveness, patience, and tolerance. And when I learn them, I don't get tested so much. When I don't learn them, he gives me a harder test, whether it's in forgiveness, patience, or tolerance. And it's something that sets me free. It doesn't set the other ones free. It sets me free. What do you think about forgiveness, patience, and tolerance, Paul?
Yeah, all those things are really important. And I find sometimes if you're jammed up against the wall, sometimes you got to sit back and just take a breath. I'd say move a lot, but you got to breathe too. When you're jammed up against, sometimes the quickest way to get through something, get over something, is to actually slow down and not speed up and relax. If you can, take long, deep breaths and reflect before you go crazy.
You know, that breathing thing is good for so many things, and it takes a little while to learn that. But that deep breathing, that's good for meditation and everything else. So, breathing is a great answer. All right, so we're going to get to this part called the gouge. And the gouge is in the Navy. It's shit you need to know, but sometimes nobody tells you. But we have gouge this week. And the gouge this week is laughing daily like it's medicine, because it is. A single good laugh boosts your immune system for over 24 hours. Yeah, I didn't know this, but even faking a laugh until it turns real tricks your brain into releasing endorphins. Schedule laughter like you schedule workout. Your health depends on it. What do you think about that, Ace? Give us the gouge on laughing.
Absolutely. I love the gauge for the week. Laughter is indeed some of the best medicine out there. It's like a natural mood booster and a stress buster all rolled into one. So scheduling a daily laugh, just like a workout, makes perfect sense. Even if you have to fake it at first, your brain does get the message and those endorphins kick in. So let's all find something to laugh about and keep those spirits high.
Thank you, Ace. That's wonderful. I appreciate that. Dr. Paul, tell me what your thoughts are about laughter, because I love to laugh. And more than that, I love to make people laugh. What do you think, Paul?
Well, I think that's essential, and it's great that you can find something to laugh at. Some of the news these days is not the greatest, domestically or internationally. If you can find something that relaxes you, that makes you, it just loosens you up. You're better off loosened up than tightened up all the time. When people are tense, they tighten up. They tighten up, blood pressure goes up, you know, uh, cortisol pops up, everything bad pops up because the body's in a fight or flight mode, and you're fighting all the time. And you can only do that but so much, even internally, before something gives way that you don't want to give way. So laugh and relax when you can.
Great advice. Dr. Paul, I really do enjoy more than anything to make others laugh. It makes me feel so good. Well, the name of our show is The Wingman Show, and that's because we always highlight a wingman of the week. Dr. Paul has a wonderful wingman of the week this show, and I can't wait to hear it. Dr. Paul, tell us about the wingman of the week.
Well, this is an aviation related story, and some of you may remember an incident that happened some time ago. Thinking about it, they called it the Miracle on the Hudson. Hudson River is a big river that runs between New York City and New Jersey. Back in January 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 struck a flock of geese shortly after takeoff from New York's LaGuardia Airport. Both engines failed, and Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger had to make an impossible call, ditch the Airbus in the Hudson River. He couldn't make it back to any runway. But here's where the wingman's spirit shine. As soon as the plane hit the water and the passengers scrambled out onto the wings, everyday ordinary New Yorkers jumped into action. Ferry boat captains and crews, without hesitation, diverted from the routes and charged towards the freezing scene. This was in the wintertime. It was in January. It's freezing water. They pulled alongside the sinking aircraft and began hauling passengers to safety. Some climbed down into the life rafts. Others reached directly into the icy water to grab people slipping under. Within minutes, every one of the 155 souls on board was rescued. There's no loss of life. That day, those ferry operators, civilians just doing their jobs, became the ultimate wingmen. They watched the total of 6 strangers prove that courage isn't limited to uniforms. It reminded us that sometimes the best wingman is simply the person that shows up when you need them the most.
Well, anybody out there who can hear my voice, whatever you think is important, whatever you think is beautiful, and most importantly, whatever makes you happy, may you have that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace, Commander Drew. And as always, it was good seeing you. We appreciate all those who listen, like, and share our message. Most of you are not subscribers. We appreciate it if you would subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when we put up a new episode. A like would be nice too if you're looking at us on YouTube. But take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back. I want to thank all the listeners too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and refer to use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth and goodwill towards all men and women.